Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading, November 10th to the 16th for the sign of Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, we are well into your season, all right? And let's just see what this second to last week in your season, your birthday month holds for you. All right, guys, we're going to get right into pulling out your romance angel messages for this week. And then we'll go ahead and pull out your animal spirits. And then we'll get the traditional Rider-Waite deck in for your forecast. All right, new love, Scorpio. New love. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Again, religious factors has shown up a lot for these readings this week. Let your friends help you out. Ask for and accept support of others. All right, Scorpio, you are not a sign that accepts a lot of support, right? Or help. You're very sort of determined, single-minded sign. You can be stubborn at times, but however, a Scorpio that is able to resonate higher and to accept help from others will only ever be an even better Scorpio. Now, let's get right into your sign and into your animal spirits. And animal spirits can indicate times and paths and stages, that you're entering into, a new time in your life that is emerging. They can indicate energies that are becoming available to you to get through a particular scenario, right? Or to get through something. They can also be representative of characteristics or personality types that you may be dealing with closely in your life. Family, friends, colleagues, lovers, etc. Now, of course, we know this can't be for all Scorpios, so just take what applies and let the rest fly. And we're going to get right into it, Scorpio, and we come right out with the fox. Strong earth energy. The fox is the ultimate mate, okay? And we have the moth. Air energy associated with wishful thinking. And the raccoon, earth energy and associated with talent, a high degree of talent. All right, so Scorpio, before we get into your actual spread, let's review these animal spirits. The fox, well, what can I say? The fox is a very strong, beautiful, earthy creature that is the ideal mate. The fox is the teacher. And in a lot of ways, the fox is an extremely charming individual to be around. The fox tends to keep a relationship fresh and young. They have a high level of commitment to the people that they love. And in this way, people who resonate with this energy are really ideal life partners. They're not going to just leave at the first sign of trouble. They're going to be willing to work through issues. They are also very clever, very wise, very clever. And in this way, they're very mature and functional, right? There's nothing dysfunctional about a fox personality. This is a healthy individual. This is a person who's very smart. And they're emotionally healthy and smart and able to really be a good mate to people, be good mate to someone in a relationship in the sense that they are enthusiastic. They're willing to, if you're going through something, they're not just going to kind of be like, oh, yeah, well, that's sad for you. They're going to try to help you through it. They're going to be very practical about it. And their help is useful because they're not stupid. Right? They're smart. And so in this way, Scorpio, if you come across a fox energy individual, somebody is resonating with that kind of earth energy in a love connection, then you will be very, very lucky, I would say, to have this type of person as a mate, because in a lot of ways they will have your level of commitment, but they also have the sense and the wisdom to be able to really bring something to the relationship. Now, the moth is an air quality animal, and the moth is associated with that person who always thinks the grass is greener on the other side. The moth is very wishful thinker, very hasty, always making really hasty decisions that aren't well thought out. The moth is very easily distracted by anything new and shiny. And in this way, the moth is very uncommitted energy, very flighty energy. And this is the person who really, people who resonate with this energy really are at a stage in their life where they really must learn that Nothing good comes without true trials and tribulations, right? Any kind of strong relationship or endeavor or objective or goal that you try to reach is, requires work. It requires work, and it requires you to remain committed in the times when it's most difficult, right? And not everything is always going to feel beautiful and like cakes and ice cream. Some things are going to be hard sometimes. Certainly relationships are going to be hard at times. When you're trying to achieve something in your life, there's going to be down times that you have to persevere through. And so in this way, moth energy is really something to overcome if you're resonating with it yourself, of course. Now, raccoon is earth energy, and the raccoon is associated with an extreme amount of talent. However, the raccoon is also very shy and very insecure. The raccoon is talented, but oftentimes afraid to show their talent to the world. These are individuals who are very good with their hands. Generally, raccoons are also associated with those people who work with tools or instruments or musical instruments, right? The woodworkers, the metalsmiths, the sewers, the knitters, the musicians who play instruments like clarinets or violins. Anything to do with the fingers and the hand in an artistic and talented way is associated with raccoon energy. Very, very practical, but oftentimes stuck in the shadows because of their inability to sort of have the confidence, right, to really show the world what they can do. All right. Very sweet energy, though, and very strong, talented energy as well. All right, guys. Scorpio, let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 8 3-card spreads, depending on how much time I spend on each. And these forecasts are going to be different from each other. They may relate to each other, and there may be a common theme sometimes that runs through them. Of course, this is a general weekly read. Even though we pull romance, angels, and animal spirits, the forecast can be in any area of our life. And, of course, as I always say, just take what applies to you and disregard anything that doesn't resonate with you or that doesn't apply to your situation. All right, Scorpio, let's get right into it. We have Temperance energy, Sagittarius coming straight out the gate for you, 3 of Cups and a Queen of Cups. Wow, so you meet this energy head on this week. It's an energy of temperance, right? This is Sagittarius coming in a lot of ways. Temperance is understanding to not be swayed by others. The essence of temperance is having complete control of yourself and your actions, right? Someone who is very tempered is not going to react to the world around them. They are going to always be in control of how they respond to the outside world, right? To people, to events, to energies coming into themselves. They're never going to react in a way that is sort of unconscious or that is, automatic or purely instinctual. This is a connection between the mind and the heart. It's the water. It's and the drive that we have, right? Because temperance is fire, but there's that connection with water and our emotions. And so temperance energy is when you don't quick fire just because that's how you're feeling, right? And so in this way, you're being very, very controlled, very tempered, and you're coming into the week with this, certainly with regard to a love connection or a relationship. Now you're met with 3 of Cups, and 3 of Cups is a real sense of celebrating, bonding, loyalty, right? I think that what happens is that you're responding to a particular love scenario, right? Something may have happened in the past or whatever, and the way you're responding this week is very strongly with temperance energy, right? You're being very reserved. You're not getting too hot-headed. You're being, you're thinking about your actions and your words and how you're responding to this event, and you're met with a deeper sense of loyalty and bonding, right? You're met with a sense of celebration, a sense of having overcome a particular hurdle. I'm going to say it could also be that you are exhibiting a bit more sort of sociability this week, right? You're willing to reach out more to friends. That can be it as well, in the sense that this loyalty and bonding is coming from being with like-minded people, reaching out to your friends. I'm going to say in a lot of ways, you are feeling like you need to be tempered because, like I said, some event has happened. Could have been that you had an argument or a disagreement with your lover. And this week, I believe you kind of also go out. I think you reach out to friends, you go out, you socialize a bit more with this Three of Cups in an endeavor perhaps to find out how to handle the situation because you're being very thoughtful about how to respond. You end the week with the Queen of Cups, and I think in this way, through a lot of this sort of interacting and talking with your friends, talking with like-minded people, people that you really trust their opinion, I think you realize and end up this week with an understanding that whatever has happened before, whatever you're going through here with your lover that has sent you into the week with this energy, at the end of the week, you realize that the best way to handle it is with Queen of Cups, in a sense of really opening yourself up and expressing yourself to your lover, really opening up your heart, getting in touch with your own feelings. Queen of Cups knows who she is. This is a really, I want to say that you come out of this week realizing that you really need to, I think, in a lot of ways, get to know who you truly are. I think something has happened that's really woken you up to that. And you want to express who you are, but part of expressing who you are is knowing who you are. And that's what the Queen of Cups does. The Queen of Cups takes the time to really know her feelings, understand her feelings, and get in touch with her feelings so that she can express herself in a functional and healthy way to her lover. And I think that this is the understanding that you come to this week. Star energy, Knight of Pentacles, and Page of Cups. Some of you entered this week with a great ambition. You're working on a particular project or a goal that is really, really near and dear to your heart. This is a career goal, or this is a lifelong ambition that you have had for yourself. And you entered this week well on the way on this, working on this path, or perhaps working to solidify this plan or ambition that you have with the star energy. You're really focused on that mentally, and how to go about achieving it. You're met with the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to say that somebody comes across your path this week, Scorpio, who really, I want to say that this person really kind of impacts your dreams in a way that it's almost as if they come into your life, but they don't really come into your life because of you. They just come into your life by happenstance, and you notice them, and something about the way that they are going about achieving their objective, or something about the way that they are carrying out their day-to-day sort of activities, the way they carry themselves, what their focus is, right? All of these things, something about this individual is really getting your attention. It's really getting your attention. And I'm going to say this person could be coming into your job, right? Because they come in that area, right? Career, finance, business, and the Pentacles. This is somebody who is a really hard worker, a very earthy individual, and they're coming through that way, right? But they could also be, I want to say, very much coming into your job or where you work, Scorpio. Could be just where you work, that this is where you meet this person. But again, it's going to be a very much like a chance meeting. This could very much be a new lover that you run into. And it's very much kind of like a chance meeting, and it ends up that you want to share a token of love with them. It ends up that you guys, you may have seen each other and not spoken, but by the end of the week, you actually bump into each other and you decide maybe to have a cup of coffee or to meet. There is some small exchange of a token of sort of deeper affection than just hi and goodbye, right? The initial flirtation begins, or the initial look into the eyes where you're like, okay, something more is going on here. Whatever the case is, it comes out of this very chance meeting of this Knight of Pentacles, who comes into your life right at a time in your life where you're really, really busy with an achievement, a goal, and it's like they just come in like a breath of fresh air. Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Wow. So 7 is the number for dreams and aspirations. 7 of Wands talks about feeling like you're coming into this week really like having a lot of obstacles in your way. You feel like it's you against the world, right? You feel like you're in a situation where you really have to defend your position. You have to defend yourself. You're feeling very much like the obstacles that are coming in your way, you're having to work very hard to come up with creative solutions to them, right? And you are working hard at that, because what it is that was something that you're fighting for is worth fighting for. You're showing an immense amount of courage and bravery in tackling this issue head on, or tackling the problems that are coming up with you trying to achieve this goal head on. Okay, this could very well be a feeling of fighting for your relationship, right? Or fighting for a particular project or job that you're working on, or fighting your position in a connection or dynamic where something is going on that's very close to your heart, and it's left to you to sort of fight for it in a way, right? Certainly feels like you're on your own. In a lot of ways, this could certainly be a relationship if you feel like you're the one fighting for a relationship. You're met with the Seven of Cups, and I think in a lot of ways, Seven of Cups talks about delusional thinking, and talks about, pie in the sky, and having this sort of very wishful idea about things, like really being caught up in wishing for the best outcome, and not really being rooted in reality about the dynamics of a relationship, right? And I think that you realize that this week you come in and some events happen, and you realize that you have been seeing a particular relationship not for what it truly is, and I think you wake up to the fact that you've been quite stuck in something. You've been so busy in your head with a particular scenario. I'm going to say, Scorpio, some of you have woken up. I want to say that this is about a relationship that you have with somebody. You've woken up and you've basically come into the week feeling very defensive, feeling like you are being either attacked, or like suddenly there are all of these problems in this relationship. And you realize that this week, you realize that you really haven't been paying very much attention. You realize that the image that you've had of what's been going on hasn't been at all reflective of what's really been going on. And you almost have an epiphany this week with this Hangman energy that in fact you've not really been very present in this relationship at all, right? You've not really been present there very much at all. The Hangman shows up when we wake up to the fact that we've been asleep. We wake up to the fact that we've really not put much effort into something. Hangman oftentimes is interpreted as stuck energy, but the Hangman isn't stuck. He just doesn't feel like doing shit. He just doesn't feel like it because he's not inspired. Right? He's not really inspired to put his best foot forward. He even puts the barest minimum into hanging there in this position that we from the outside looking at it seem as though, well, of course he must be stuck. But it's not that he's stuck. He just doesn't give a fuck. And he just hangs there with his hands behind his back. But then suddenly something comes into his life that really wakes him up, that inspires him, that makes him feel like being more than he is. And it's when this happens and he wakes up, he realizes what that position that he's allowed himself to get into, which has been a very lazy, satisfied with less kind of position. I want to say, Scorpio, you really wake up to this because you've been exhibiting this energy in a particular relationship with someone, and it's beginning to cause problems now, and you wake up to the fact that you really have not been all together there, and it's a case of you can save a particular relationship if you wake up and now apply yourself. 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So you entered this week very much having worked very hard on a particular endeavor. You've been extremely ambitious about a career goal. And Scorpio, you are one of the most ambitious and competitive of the signs. You really when you put your mind to something that you like to achieve as far as a career or money or anything like that, you are very single-minded. You are one of those signs that absolutely achieves it. However, it can be done sometimes at the sacrifice of alienating yourself from others. And that's for anybody who works really strongly towards an ambition. You can find yourself enjoying the fruits of your labor, but you're enjoying them alone because the path that you've had to take has forced you to alienate yourself sometimes, or it has allowed you to, has forced you, or you believe you've had to sacrifice deeper relationships for the sake of putting all your energy into your material, financial, and career ambitions. And so, yes, there's an sense of mastery in having achieved a lot in your life, but yet there is a loneliness there with the Nine of Pentacles, as with all the 9 cards, similar to the Hermit. And then with 10 of Pentacles, you met with the 10 of Pentacles coming in. So you certainly come into a lot of reward, a completion, as it were. It's almost as if you finally arrived. All of this hard work you've put into something has led you to this place where you've arrived, right? All of your hard work is paid off. And it's that kind of payoff that happens when it's not going, the ball isn't going to roll backwards now, It's when you've achieved a certain level in something that nobody can ever take away from you. And it's a sense of accomplishment and completion. But it brings with it a lot of abundance. And oftentimes this comes in as well because you have finally made the love connection, right? 9 is achieving all of this abundance, but at the sacrifice of relationships. With the 10 of Pentacles, we see the relationship there, right? We see the couple there, engaged, the grandfather, the couple, the children, and the dog. So we're talking about building a legacy with 10 of Pentacles, building a family, a legacy. We have the family crest, right? So here we're talking about not only having all of the abundance, but having the stability of a love connection as well as the abundance, the whole enchilada, as it were. And so you make a commitment. I think for some of you, you make a commitment perhaps to a love connection that has been a long time coming. This could be very well a new love connection that has come into your life, the type of love connection that you now have time for now that you've achieved quite a lot. And you end the week with the Queen of Pentacles in the sense that I want to say that you end the week out being quite the nurturer and the supporter for somebody, or probably your partner or a loved one, right? It's like you come together and now you, because of all of this abundance that you've really achieved for yourself, you are able now to sort of you're able to sort of give the wisdom that you've learned and give all of the support and understanding that you've learned from arriving to a Queen of Pentacles state, right, to your loved ones. Could be to your lover, your children, or your friends and family, etc. You've kind of assumed this matriarchal kind of authority figure position as a result of this union that comes in. Very, very beautiful. This is a union, a new love that comes in for a very career-minded Scorpio that may or may not have believed that they would ever find that deeply of a connection. This is going to be the last one. Tower moment. Page of Wands and the Empress. And there's your Empress. Like I said, in every single reading for you cross-watchers, you will know every reading the Empress has shown up. And indeed here also for you, Scorpio, on the last card, Empress shows up. Tower moment, Page of Wands, and Empress energy. I want to say that some of you Scorpios are entering this week with a real epiphany happening. A real eye-opener is happening. What you've been holding on to about the way to interact in some scenario in your life, I want to say perhaps even in a relationship in your life, you're realizing is not the right way. You're realizing that, what you held on to that may have worked for you in the past is not going to work for you in this endeavor. You have a really huge wake-up call to the truth behind what's been going on, or to the truth behind the energies in a particular relationship, right? And you very much wake up to the fact that a lot of this is because you've been holding on to sort of an outdated mode of behavior that really doesn't serve you and doesn't serve the relationship that you're in now. Page of Wands comes in to meet you, and Page of Wands talks about really looking at a relationship, right, in a very different and new way, without fear. I think that a lot of you have come, I want to say, Scorpio, for some of you, in a lot of ways, the past relationships perhaps, or the past way of dealing with things has maybe come out of a sense of not so much fear, but apprehension, anxiety, lack of confidence. But Page of Wands comes in and really challenges you this week to really think outside the box about the way to approach a particular relationship. It really challenges you to have less fear about it and to be more open about expressing yourself. The Page of Wands talks about overcoming fear. You know, overcoming that first step of fear that we have to truly express ourselves. And I think what's happening for you, Scorpio, is that some of you have come to a place in a particular relationship where you realize that to save your relationship or to continue this relationship, you have to really truly be open about who you are and really overcome your fear about truly expressing your feelings, right? Expressing who you are in a creative way. Empress comes in, and I want to say that Empress comes in again because I think that you learn that it's time to be more receptive, perhaps for some of you. It's time to be a bit more confident. The Empress is very confident. She's very sure of herself. She takes the time also really to nourish herself and to nurture herself. And in this way, I think what you realize is that a particular connection really requires you to be more receptive. It requires you to show up emotionally and to really give a bit more into it, or else it will crumble. And so what I mean for some of you Scorpios, you're learning, right? You're learning that it's about developing that feminine side of yourself, that receptive, calm, beautiful, luxuriating, indulging, sensual, sexual side of yourself that perhaps up until now you have not really done so much. And a particular relationship is calling for you to bring that energy to it because what you have been bringing to it is not working. And you wake up very, very strongly to that. I'm going to say this Tower moment may have come after you've had an argument with your lover or a disagreement or something has gone on with your lover that has really opened your eyes to something that you had no idea was going on. And you learned this week that it is that what's happening is that there's a whole different side of yourself in this new relationship that is being called for if you want it to succeed. All right, guys, this is your reading for November 10th to the 16th. I hope it did resonate, Scorpio. And if it did, please like, subscribe, and share. But for right now, I'm going to say have a wonderful week, Scorpio. And I'll see you next Saturday for the weeklies. Bye-bye now.